Hello dear students, in the last video we have covered effect of substituents on the basicity of aromatic amines. In today's class, that is lecture number 6, we will continue with the remaining chemical properties of amines. In that, the second chemical property is alkylation. Now we will see what is alkylation. Very simple. Alkylation is nothing but a reaction of amines with alkyl halide. Reaction of amines with alkyl halide is called as alkylation process. We will see its corresponding reactions now. I will take first primary amine. RNH2 is a primary amine reacting with the alkyl halide. Already known to you, alkyl halide, if you observe, will have slight polarity on alkyl group as well as a halide. Okay, right. Because of that reason, nitrogen being a lone pair, because of its lone pair, it is donating its lone pair to alkyl group. That's why between nitrogen and alkyl, a bond is formed. Because of that bond, we'll get first of all one salt. Its formula is R2, NH2 plus X minus 1 salt is obtained first. Now this salt, if this salt is reacted with the sodium hydroxide, then we will get R2NH plus NaX plus water is obtained. It is a secondary amine. Means when primary amine is undergoing alkylation, we will get secondary amine. When primary amine is undergoing alkylation is nothing but a reaction with alkyl halide, you will get corresponding to secondary amine. And of course, again we will continue that secondary amine R2NH, this secondary amine is reacting with one more alkyl halide. Then again a new bond is forming between nitrogen as well as alkyl group. You will get another salt, that is R3NH plus X minus, another salt is obtained. And this salt also, if it reacts with sodium hydroxide, you will get a tertiary amine R3N plus byproducts remains same only. Tertiary amine you are getting. Means when primary amine is undergoing alkylation, secondary amine. When a secondary amine is undergoing alkylation, we will get tertiary amine. And of course, that tertiary amine R3N reacts with another alkyl halide. And again a bond is formed between nitrogen as well as alkyl group. We will get R4N plus X minus. Again we are getting a salt. And if you observe that this salt is not having any hydrogen, because of that reason it is not reacting with the sodium hydroxide. A reaction will be stopped here only. That's why the final compound is quaternary ammonium salt is forming finally. This is called as alkylation of amines. Very simple. When primary amine is undergoing alkylation, secondary amines. When secondary amines undergoing alkylation, tertiary amines. When a tertiary amines undergoing alkylation, finally quaternary salts are obtained. Quaternary salt it is. Right. And if you want, you can take example also. Example means instead of R, you can take ethyl group, ethyl amine. Here also instead of R, here also if you want, you can take ethyl group only, it doesn't matter. C2H5. And you will get corresponding amines, corresponding primary amine, corresponding secondary amine, corresponding tertiary amine, and corresponding quaternary salts are obtained. Quite similar reactions. Okay, right. This is called as alkylation process. Then we will go to another chemical property, that is acylation. Acylation. First we will see what is acylation. Very simple. That is amine when reacts with either acid chloride or acid anhydride or sometimes even ester also. Then we will get corresponding amides are obtained. Amides. That is only called as acylation process. Let's see its corresponding examples. Right. Okay, now I will take NCERT examples only. Example number 1. In our NCERT book, he has given C2H5 N H2. Nothing but ethylamine. Of course, nitrogen is having a lone pair on it. Ethylamine, common name, IUPAC name, ethanamine. Alright. Reacting with amine is reacting with acid chloride. Which acid chloride we are using? We are using this acid chloride, CH3COCl, and its common name is acetyl chloride. Its IUPAC name is ethanoyl chloride. Now I will use this acid chloride here. Therefore, when the ethylamine is reacting with CH3, just calculate purpose I write like this: COCl, ethyl chloride. Sorry, acetyl chloride. When ethylamine is reacted with acetyl chloride, let's see what happens. Very simple. Here carbon and oxygen, when you are comparing to each other, oxygen is more electronegativity. That's why pi electrons are moved towards oxygen. That's why carbon is getting plus charge and oxygen is getting minus charge. Being plus charge on carbon, a lone pair is coming and attacking on carbon. After shifting of electrons, remember. After shifting of electrons, carbon is getting plus charge. Because of that plus charge, lone pair electrons are coming and attacking on carbon. Because of that, between nitrogen and carbon, new bond will form. Between nitrogen as well as carbon, new bond is forming. Will show that intermediate compound like this. C2H5. Of course, nitrogen. H remains the same. Now between nitrogen as well as carbon, new bond is forming like this. It is a new bond. And carbon, and above will write a CH3, and of course a Cl, and here a double bond converted to single bond O minus simultaneously. Here nitrogen is giving electron pair, that's why nitrogen is getting plus charge. This is a intermediate compound. Right. Next, what happens? In the next stage, very simple. Nitrogen is basically high electronegativity element. But here basically nitrogen is having a plus charge. When nitrogen is having a plus charge, its electronegativity still increases. Immediately what it is doing, it is taking either this bond or this bond, any one bond pair electrons towards itself. Means here hydrogen is going without electron, nothing but H plus it is. H plus is eliminating. Exactly. Here also minus charge is coming here. Means here new bond is forming. Once a new bond is forming, immediately here from this Cl minus is escaping. From here H plus, from here Cl minus is escaping. Nothing but HCl will be eliminated. HCl eliminated. That's why I will write here. We'll write here minus HCl. We can say minus HCl. The final compound is like this: C2H5, N, and of course only one H. This H is not there. NH, and this bond pair is turned as a lone pair again. Single bond, C double bond O now, C double bond O, and a single bond CH3. Right. This compound is obtained. Now what is its IUPAC name? IUPAC name is N-ethyl. N for nitrogen. N-ethyl. Ethanamide is its IUPAC name. N-ethyl ethanamide, because the final compound should be amide. When amine reacts with acid chloride, final compound should be amide. This is only called as a acylation process. It is only called acylation process. Very simple. Ethylamine, of course, primary amine is reacting with acetyl chloride. First we are getting one intermediate compound. From this HCl is eliminating. After elimination of HCl we are getting N-ethyl. N-ethyl ethanamide is obtaining. Right. Second example is very simple. Now here only I am just altering. That is, instead of hydrogen I will substitute here another ethyl group. Its name is a diethylamine. Of course, secondary amine. Secondary amine I have taken. In the first example I have taken primary amine. In the second example now I am using secondary amine. When secondary amine also reacting with the same compound, same reaction takes place, and the same type intermediate compound is obtaining. Here instead of hydrogen I have to write the ethyl group. That's it. Again the same HCl eliminated. Then after elimination of HCl, the final compound is like this. Final compound also same. Instead of this hydrogen, I have to write ethyl group. That's it. Wherever hydrogen was there we just substitute ethyl group. Now what is its IUPAC name? Its IUPAC name is This ethyl is attached to nitrogen. This ethyl is also attached to nitrogen. That's why N diethyl. N diethyl, because both ethyl groups are connected to nitrogen only. N for nitrogen. N diethyl ethanamide is obtained. That's it. N diethyl ethanamide. N diethyl ethanamide is obtained. Means when amine, acid chloride, and finally we'll get amide only. Right. Next, one more example we'll take, because we are telling amine as well as anhydride also can react. Anhydride, right? According to NCERT book only, we are writing all the reactions. Next reaction is like this. Now I am taking one of the amine, that is C6H5 NH2. What is this? It is aromatic amine. Aromatic amine I have taken. Of course, any amine we can take. It may be aliphatic amine or aromatic amine, doesn't matter. When aromatic amine is reacting with either acid chloride or anhydride, doesn't matter. I am using now anhydride, acid anhydride. What is acid anhydride? Acid anhydride structure is CH3CO. CH3CO is called as acid anhydride. Its name is acidic anhydride. Now I am using this acidic anhydride here. We will write like this: CH3 C double bond O. If I write Cl, acetyl chloride. Okay, then instead of Cl, remaining group if I write, that is anhydride will come. Cl, CS3CO. After that we'll have O, CO, CS3. O, CO, CH3. That's it. It is acid anhydride, acidic anhydride. Same reaction is taking place. Here again, electronegativity difference is there. Pi electrons are shifted. Carbon is getting plus charge. Oxygen is getting minus charge. The lone pair is shifted to carbon. Between nitrogen as well as carbon, new bond will form. Again, we will get an intermediate compound. Its structure is like this: C6H5 N, of course H and H, and a new bond is forming between nitrogen as well as carbon. It is a new bond, and upper part CH3 is there, and lower part O minus, and remaining O, CO, CH3 is as this, and here also nitrogen is getting plus charge, because nitrogen has given electron pair. That's why nitrogen is getting plus charge. It is an intermediate compound, and from this compound also again what eliminating? Which part is eliminating? Let's see then. Again, nitrogen being more electronegativity, it is taking this bond pair towards itself. Again here H eliminated as H plus. Next, this minus charge is shifted from here to here, means you will get a double bond. Once double bond is obtained, then this entire part is eliminated here. Entire part. What is that? CH3COO minus, because oxygen with 2 electrons eliminated. CH3COO minus, from here H plus. CH3COO minus, H plus has eliminated. Nothing but minus acetic acid has eliminated. Minus CH3COOH has eliminated. Therefore, the final compound is C6H5. C6H5 and NH. And here again bond pair turned as lone pair, and a single bond C double bond O, CH3 is left. That's it. Now its name, it's a UPS name, N-phenyl ethanamide. Is it a UPS name? N-phenyl ethanamide, because 2 carbons are there and it is amine functional group. That's why when amine as well as anhydride both are reacted, we will get amide. Right. Now all these are examples of acylation process only. It is also called as acetylation, of course. Acetylation, same only. Of course, according to NCERT book, a reaction with ester has not given. Next, immediately what I am doing, I'll go to benzylation. Then according to NCERT book, benzylation also has given part of acylation only. But we will learn clearly, specially benzylation process. Benzylation, I write. Benzylation. Acylation purpose, CH3CO group will be substituted. That is acylation. Benzylation purpose, C6H5CO group should be substituted. That is called benzylation. Right. We'll see then. Benzylation process. First is again one amine I am taking CH3NH2. And primary amine I have taken methylamine. This methylamine is reacting with the C6H5, COCl, benzoyl chloride. Cl its structure. Benzene with COCl is benzoyl spelling BNZOYL, benzoyl chloride. Previously in acylation process acetyl or ethanoyl chloride. Acetyl chloride we have used. Here we are using a benzoyl chloride. Let's see what happens. Same as these pi electrons are shifted, and here a lone pair is coming and attacking, and between nitrogen as well as carbon new bond will be formed, and the intermediate structure is CH3. H of course will get plus charge, and carbon O minus, and C6H5 Cl intermediate compound is obtained, and here also some portion is eliminating, which we are eliminating same, being more electronegativity of N plus, it is a shifting up bond pair towards itself. Hydrogen is eliminating as H plus, and it is shifted here. You will get a new bond. Cl minus eliminated. As usual, H plus and Cl minus, HCl has eliminated. Minus HCl, and the final compound is CH3. CH3 and NH. Then a C double bond O, C6H5. It is a C6H5. And its name is N-methyl. N for nitrogen. N-methyl. Remaining parent chain is benzamide. This is only called as benzylation, because here a benzoyl group has substituted. If acetyl group substituted, acetylation. If a benzoyl group has substituted, it is called benzylation. And its final name is N-methyl. N-methyl benzamide is obtained. That's it. Okay, till now we have learned three types of chemical properties. One is a basicity of amines. Second one is alkylation. And third one is acylation followed by benzylation. Acylation, benzylation, part of one reaction only. Right. Then we will go to one of the very, very important chemical property of amines. That is this question has asked NEET 2020 recently in NEET examination. Based on this, one question has asked. It is carbyl amine test or reaction, of course. Carbyl amine reaction. It is also called as isocyanide test. You can write reaction, carbyl amine reaction. Isocyanide reaction, of course, right. We'll see then what is the carbyl amine test, what is isocyanide. We'll discuss it clearly. See here carefully. In carbyl amine test, it may be, see here, particularly, that should be particularly primary amine. It may be aliphatic amine or aromatic amine, doesn't matter. It may be aliphatic amine or aromatic amine, doesn't matter. There is no any restriction of aliphatic and aromatic. But restriction is, it should be primary amine, that's it. It should be primary amine, because only primary amines will be given this carbyl amine test, not secondary as well as tertiary amines. This is very important point. Right. Now I will give you general equation. Or NH2, I have taken any one primary amine. When primary amine is heated with a chloroform and alkali, 3 moles of NaOH or KOH, we are heating. Then immediately what happens during the heating? RNC plus 3KCl plus 3H2O means after completion of the reaction, one foul smelling, one bad smelling compound is obtained, and its name is isocyanide. Isocyanide, or it is also called as carbylamine. Alkyl carbylamine or alkyl isocyanide is obtained. This reaction only called as carbylamine test or isocyanide test. Once again, It may be aliphatic primary amine or aromatic primary amine, doesn't matter, is heated with chloroform and alkali. Then a foul smelling substance is found. Its name is alkyl isocyanide. Along with that, KCl as well as water is obtained as a byproduct. Now we'll take its examples. One example we'll take for aliphatic, one will take for aromatic. Right? I'll take a CH3NH2. CH3, CH2, NH2. Ethylamine reacts with the chloroform and alkali KOH, heated, you will get a CH3, CH2, NC plus 3 KCl plus 3 H2O is obtained. Ethylamine is heated with chloroform and alkali, you will get a ethyl isocyanide. Ethyl isocyanide or ethyl carbylamine is obtained. Right? It is an example one. Second example, we'll take aromatic compound. It is aliphatic. Now aromatic compound also you can take, doesn't matter. That should be primary amine. Condition is applied. It is primary amine. It is also primary amine only. Reacting with the chloroform and alkali, and we will get a phenyl isocyanide. It is ethyl isocyanide. It is a phenyl isocyanide. Both are foul smelling substances are coming. 3 KCl and H2O. That's it. And this is general reaction, and these are the two examples of carbylamine as well as isocyanide test. Okay. Now we'll do one thing. Generally, for neighbor reactions, we'll discuss its mechanism also. Let's see its mechanism. We'll discuss its mechanism clearly. Mechanism of carbylamine test. Of course, mechanism has not given in the NCERT book, but we'll just see the mechanism. Once again, I'll write here reaction or NH2 plus CHCl3 KOH heated or NC KCl H2O. Right. Now we'll write its mechanism. In the mechanism, first I'll take a chloroform. Chloroform I'll write like this clearly. CHCl3. Total how many alkalis have used? 3 alkalis have used. In the first step I'll use only one alkali OH minus. If you want to get KOH also, doesn't matter. Right. Now what happened here? This sigma bond completely shifted on carbon. H eliminated as H plus. This H plus and OH minus water has eliminated, no doubt. Then the structure is like this. Carbon, Cl, Cl, Cl. Okay. Now here 2 electrons, both electrons are coming and occupying on carbon only, both electrons. Now surrounding to the carbon, total how many electrons are there surrounding? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Instead of 4, 5 electrons are there. 1 electron is excess, that's why carbon is getting minus charge. Carbon is getting minus charge. Right. Next. In the next step, what happens? We are using a KOH. Only OH minus has used, still K plus is there. K plus is waiting. Now K plus is reacting with. Then what I am doing now, this complete bond is this Cl along with the 2 electrons. Cl along with the 2 electrons, nothing but a Cl minus. Cl along with the 2 electrons is eliminated as Cl minus. This K plus and Cl minus removed as KCl. After elimination of KCl, then we'll get one important intermediate compound is obtained, and its structure is like this. C will have only 2 chlorines. Cl only 2 chlorines are there. This bond completely eliminated. These 2 electrons, 1, 2, these 2 electrons are eliminated with chlorine. Now carbon is having a lone pair as this. But this carbon, negative charge will not come. Why carbon negative charge is not coming? We'll see the surrounding electrons. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exactly 4 out of 4 valence electrons are present. No plus charge. But the important compound is, the important thing is this. Its name is dichlorocarbene. Its name is dichlorocarbene. Dichlorocarbene. And this dichlorocarbene is electron deficient compound. It is an intermediate compound, electron deficient compound. Why dichlorocarbene is electron deficient compound? Very simple. I'll write here Cl, Cl. Of course, electron pair. Generally, people by seeing this electron pair, what they will think? They are ready to donate electron pair. Electron rich compounds like that will think, but that is wrong. It is not electron rich compound, it is electron deficient compound. Why it is electron deficient compound? Means after bond formation, surrounding electrons, if you observe, after bond formation, surrounding electrons, if you observe, carbon is having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 electrons only are present surrounding the carbon instead of 8 electrons. 8 electrons are not there. Still 2 electrons are deficient only. That's why it is called electron deficient compound, and it is a dichlorocarbene. It is a intermediate of this reaction. Now we will continue then this dichlorocarbene. We will continue here. Now I will take amine, primary amine, R, N, H, H. Of course, nitrogen is having lone pair. Now that dichlorocarbene I will write here. Cl, Cl, lone pair. Now just now we have discussed it is electron deficient compound. Electron deficient compound means still 2 electrons it can accept. That's why this amine is donating electron pair to this dichlorocarbene. Between nitrogen as well as carbon, a new bond is forming. The bond is like this: R, N, H, H, and a new bond is forming like this. It's a new bond, C, Cl, Cl, and 2 lone pairs are present as it is. 2 electrons are present as it is. 1 lone pair is present as it is. And once again, this pair is involved in the bond formation. That's why between nitrogen as well as carbon, bond is formed. On carbon, 2 electrons are present. Those 2 electrons will as it is will write. But here one important point is nitrogen has given electron. That's why nitrogen is getting a plus charge. And if you observe the carbon, surrounding to the carbon, how many electrons are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 electrons are there surrounding to the carbon. That's why we write minus charge on carbon. Minus charge. Nitrogen is getting plus charge, carbon is getting minus charge. Right. In the next step, what we are doing? Till now, how many KOH molecules are used? Only one KOH molecule has used. Next, I am using another KOH molecule, OH minus. Therefore, what happened? This bond pair is shifted from here. We'll write like this. This either this bond or this bond, we are shifting from here to here. Means here again, hydrogen is eliminating without electron. H plus, this H plus and OH minus. H plus and OH minus will write as water eliminated, minus H2O. Therefore, the obtained structure is or here important point, please try to understand. This bond is shifted from here to here. This bond is just turning from here to here. Therefore, you get R, N, H, and here its plus charge remains as it is. Only plus charge is not nullifying because the bond is turning like this. It is old bond. It is a new bond. Means previously also nitrogen has connected with 1, 2, 3, 4 bonds. Now also nitrogen is connected with 1, 2, 3, 4 bonds only. That's why plus charge has not removed. Then this type carbon will write as this Cl, 2 electrons with minus charge. Right. In KOH molecule only OH minus has used. Next K plus is waiting. Next what I am doing? K plus needs Cl minus. How Cl minus is eliminating? Cl minus purpose, what we are doing? See here. Here again this bond then Cl minus, either this Cl or this Cl is eliminating like this. Either this Cl or this Cl along with the bond has eliminated, that is nothing but minus KCl. After elimination, the obtained structure is R, N, H. Of course, nitrogen is having plus charge, double bond, carbon, Cl, and 2 electrons. Now, total how many electrons are present surrounding to this carbon? Will identify them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 electrons are present. That's why we will write as it is a minus charge. We will write minus charge. Next, here what I am doing, till now how many KOH molecules are used? It is 1 KOH molecule. It is the second KOH molecule. Next, total 3 KOH molecules are there. Another OH minus I am using the last. Then as we say, this bond again I am shifted here. This H plus has eliminated as water. H plus as well as OH minus eliminated. Therefore, next structure is R, N. This plus charge remains as it is, no change. Plus charge, and we will get a triple bond. Then why plus charge is not removing? Why? Because before shifting, nitrogen is connected with 1, 2, 3, 4. After shifting, also nitrogen connected with 1, 2, 3, 4 bonds only. No difference at nitrogen. And next, carbon, 2 electrons, minus charge, Cl. Immediately what happened with K plus, then this is Cl minus has eliminated. That's why next final structure is like this. That is R, N plus triple bond, carbon, 2 electrons, minus charge. That's it. Then finally, why carbon is having minus charge? Means carbon surrounding 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 electrons are there. Why nitrogen is having plus charge? Surrounding will count then 1, 2, 3, 4 electrons instead of 5. Here at nitrogen 1 electron is less than valence electrons. That's why plus charge. Here at carbon 1 electron is more than its valence electron. That's why it is minus. This is final isocyanide. That's it. This is the mechanism of carbylamine reaction. That's it. First I have taken chloroform. First one OH molecule, OH minus ion, water molecule has eliminated, you will get this compound, and K plus and Cl minus eliminated, you will get a dichlorocarbene, which is a reaction intermediate. This question also will ask, what is the reaction intermediate in carbylamine test? There is a dichlorocarbene. It is electron deficient compound. Because at carbon surrounding total electrons after bond formation are only 6, not 8. That's why amine is donating electron pair to this dichlorocarbene and bond formation is taking place, and finally we will get isocyanide. This is the mechanism of isocyanide test. Of course, in the NCERT book, this mechanism has not given, but in the CET or in the competitive examination, then what is the reaction intermediate question has asked. Suppose dichlorocarbene blindly is not good to tick the answer there, because what is the dichlorocarbene, how it is obtained, we have to know that. That purpose we have to learn the mechanism. Please try to understand all the steps, and after you just copy in a notebook all the steps and try to write as many as possible times. Okay, alright. Next we'll continue another reaction. Right. Before we'll going to discuss next reaction in the 2020 NEET examination, which question has asked? Let's see that. 2020 NEET examination. Question is like this: which of the following amine following amine will give the carbyl amine test. The carbyl amine test. That's it. We'll see the options. One is benzene ring with NHC2H5, and the second option is benzene ring with NH2. Third option is the benzene ring with NHCH3, and fourth option is a benzene ring with NCH3CH3. Blindly you can give the answer then. Which of the following amine will give the carbyl amine test? Already condition note to you. Carbyl amine test purpose, the amine should be primary amine. It may be aliphatic amine or aromatic amine, doesn't matter. We'll identify where is primary amine. Which is primary amine? See here, nitrogen has connected to 2 carbon atoms. Absolutely secondary amine. It will not give. And here also nitrogen is connected with the 2 carbons. It is also secondary amine. It is also not giving. Here nitrogen is connected to 1, 2, 3 carbons. It is a tertiary amine. It is also not giving. Therefore, the one and only option is this one, aniline. Because here nitrogen is connected with only 1 carbon, it is a primary amine. This second option is our answer. This compound only will give carbyl amine test because it is a primary amine. Right. One more question we'll just see then based on this carbyl amine test. Aniline, chloroform KOH, then we'll get X. A reaction takes place with the lithium aluminum hydride, followed by of course hydrolysis. Then Y we are getting Y. Then what are X and Y is asking that. Very simple. Wherever if you find chloroform and KOH, it is absolutely carbyl amine test, no doubt. In the carbyl amine test, what happened? NH2 will be converted to NC. That's it. No need to see remaining the body. NH2 converted to NC, isocyanate. So what is X? X is the phenyl isocyanate. Phenyl isocyanate. Just now I have given the bonds. 3 bonds will be there. Nitrogen is with plus charge, carbon is with minus charge. Phenyl isocyanate. Now this phenyl isocyanate is a reacting with the lithium aluminum hydride. Lithium aluminum hydride is a strong reducing agent. Because of lithium aluminum hydride reaction, then across a triple bond, reduction takes place. Because of reduction across a triple bond, then the obtained Y is like this. Benzene ring NHCH3 is obtained. NHCH3. Benzene ring with NHCH3 is obtained, and its name is N-methyl. N for nitrogen. N-methyl aniline is obtained as Y. It is Y, it is X. That's all. Okay, right. Always in carbyl amine test, remaining a body no need to see. Just NH2 converted to NC. That's it. Okay, right. Next reaction is reaction with HNO2. Reaction with HNO2. HNO2 is a nitrous acid. Most unstable acid, HNO2. Right. Now we will discuss here 2 types of reactions. One is a reaction of HNO2 with aliphatic amines and a reaction of HNO2 with aromatic amines. 2 types of reactions we will discuss here. Right. Now, first we will discuss about number 1 in that with aliphatic primary amines again, that is. Here one more important thing is HNO2 reacts with primary amines as well as the secondary amines as well as the tertiary amines. It doesn't matter. But according to our NCERT book, we are having exclusively reaction of HNO2 with primary amines only. Secondary amines and tertiary amines will be reacts in a different manner. Those reactions are not there in the NCERT book. Remember, we are having only primary amines reactions with HNO2. Primary amine means which one? It may be aliphatic primary amine or aromatic primary amine. Both the reactions are there in our syllabus. Okay, but that should be primary amine only. No secondary as well as no tertiary amines. Right. Now we'll see the reaction. I'll give you directly one example. We'll take them. Example: CH3 and H2 have taken CH3 and H2. That is a methylamine, of course, primary amine. Should react with HNO2, nitrous acid. But the problem is HNO2 is the most unstable substance. That's why, first of all, HNO2 we have to prepare in situ. In situ. HNO2 should be prepared in situ. In situ is nothing but instantly. Within the course of reaction, during the course of reaction only we have to prepare. How to prepare HNO2? HNO2 will be prepared like this. NaNO2 plus HCl. NaNO2 HCl both are reacted to each other. HNO2 is obtained and NaCl is obtained. That's why when aliphatic primary amine is reacted with HNO2, how HNO2 is obtained? HNO2 is obtained with NaNO2 as well as HCl mixture, of course. Then what happened when methylamine reacted with HNO2? First we'll get CH3 N2 plus Cl minus. CH3 N2 plus Cl minus, that is a methyl diazonium chloride. Methyl diazonium chloride is obtained, but that methyl diazonium chloride we have taken in the bracket. We kept in the bracket because it is a most unstable substance. Therefore, this compound immediately undergoes a hydrolysis process. During the hydrolysis process, will get methyl alcohol and nitrogen, and of course HCl is obtained. Okay. This is about reaction of HNO2 with primary amine. Okay, we'll do one thing. We'll take example. General reaction will take RNH2. Suppose RNH2 if you take, what we will get then? N2 plus and Cl minus. N2 plus and Cl minus. Alkyl diazonium chloride, which is most unstable substance, is obtained, and this alkyl diazonium chloride undergoing immediately hydrolysis process. Because of hydrolysis process, we will get corresponding alcohol, nitrogen gas escapes as well as HCl is obtained. And this nitrogen gas, this quantitative evaluation of this nitrogen gas is used to estimate proteins as well as vitamins. Okay, right. Once again, it is a primary aliphatic amine, reacts with the nitrous acid. Then how nitrous acid is obtained? NaNO2 plus HCl. We will get first most unstable diazonium salt, which undergoes hydrolysis. We will get alcohol. Okay, right. Now example. Instead of R, I will take ethyl group. Sir, why methyl group we are not taking? Just now I have shown methyl, but for methyl one exception case will be there. That also I will tell you. I'll give you first of all ethyl group related reaction. Ethylamine reacted with HNO2. You will get C2H5N2 plus Cl minus. Ethyl diazonium chloride undergoing a hydrolysis process. You will get ethanol, ethyl alcohol plus nitrogen as well as HCl is obtained. Ethanol is obtained. Ethylamine will be converted to ethanol. Okay. Then sir, what about methylamine? What about methylamine? See here carefully, it is one exceptional case. Important point. When a methylamine is reacted with the nitrous acid, and a methylamine is reacted with the nitrous acid, then obtained compounds are CH3OCH3 dimethyl ether and CH3ONO methyl nitrite methyl alcohol, methyl chlorides are obtained. Of course, this point has not given in the NCERT book. It is absolutely exceptional case only. We can consider for competitive examination purpose. When particularly methylamine is undergoing a reaction with HNO2, this many compounds mixture is obtained. That's why as far as aliphatic amines are concerned, better will take example ethylamine only. It is general reaction. Example means we have to take ethylamine only. Ethylamine means we will get only single compound ethyl alcohol. But if you take a methylamine, you will get ether, methyl nitrite, methyl alcohol, methyl chloride, like various components mixture is obtained. That's why better should not take this compound as example. That's it. Now we'll go to aromatic amines, because our HNO2 will react with aliphatic amines as well as aromatic amines. Then aliphatic amines reaction has completed. In case of aliphatic amines, first we are getting a diazonium salt, but that diazonium salt, most unstable, immediately undergoing hydrolysis, will get finally corresponding alcohol and nitrogen gas escaping. Along with that, HCl is obtained, and whatever the nitrogen gas escaping, this nitrogen gas is used to estimate proteins as well as vitamins. Now we'll discuss with aromatic primary amines. That is number 2 in that. And a reaction of HNO2 with aromatic primary amines is called as diazotization. That is diazotization. And this reaction generally is not called as diazotization. Remember, only aromatic amines with HNO2. Only aromatic amines with HNO2 only called as diazotization. Remember. Now I will explain diazotization reaction. Right. We'll take an aromatic primary amine. Because secondary and tertiary amines will be reacted in a different manner. That which manner has not given in the NCERT book, that are no need to consider them. Right. Then this amine, when reacted with right here NaNO2 plus HCl, balancing purpose, we will take 2 HCl. Then why we are taking this mixture? Because only HNO2. Directly if you take HNO2, its stability is less. We are preparing this HNO2 like this. In situ we are preparing. Instantly we are preparing HNO2. How? By reaction of NaNO2 and HCl. And here one important point is there, that is when aromatic primary amines are using, then here we have to maintain temperature. How much temperature we have to maintain? We have to maintain ice cold condition, that is 273 to 278 kelvins or 0 to 5 degrees centigrade temperature we have to maintain for this reaction. When aromatic primary amine, that is aniline, reacts with NaNO2 HCl mixture, nothing but HNO2. Its meaning is HNO2 only. Then here obtained compound is benzene diazonium chloride is obtained. Benzene diazonium chloride. And here benzene diazonium chloride I am not keeping in the bracket. Previously alkyl diazonium chloride has kept in the bracket, because that was unstable, but this compound is not unstable, it is stable only. And obtained byproducts are NaCl and H2O. Obtained, its name is benzene diazonium chloride. Benzene diazonium chloride is obtained when aniline reacts with NaNO2 and HCl, nothing but HNO2 at ice cold condition 273 to 278 kelvins, nothing but 0 to 5 degrees centigrade temperature, you will get benzene diazonium chloride salt is obtained. Along with that some byproducts are obtained. Means here benzene diazonium chloride is a stable compound. That's why this process is called as a diazotization. That's why this is called a diazotization. Previous reaction was not called as a diazotization because their diazonium compound was not a stable compound. Immediately undergoes hydrolysis, you will get a finally alcohol there. But here final compound is not alcohol. Final compound is a diazonium salt only. That's why this process is called as a diazotization. Right. Then according to our NCERT book, up to this reaction is enough. Suppose Suppose what I am doing, 273 to 278 Kelvin's temperature if you maintain, you will get this compound. Suppose this temperature slightly raised. If I raise the temperature up to 278 to 283, suppose 283 Kelvins if I raise, still 3-4 degrees centigrade temperature if I increase, then immediately benzene diazonium chloride is also undergoes hydrolysis. Ultimately you will get phenol. Ultimately you will get phenol. But when phenol is obtained, when temperature is slightly increased from 278 to 283 Kelvins, if you increase, then only benzene diazonium chloride undergoing hydrolysis you will get phenol. Suppose the temperature you are not raising, temperature you are maintaining the same 278 Kelvins only, benzene diazonium chloride is the final compound, no hydrolysis at all. When temperature increases, then only hydrolysis takes place. Otherwise, at this temperature, benzene diazonium chloride is the final compound. Right? Okay. Then here one more chemical property is there for this. In this category. That reaction will continue in our next class. Thank you for watching. Bye.